Hey YouTube, it's me Dylan, and today we're going to focus on starting your first Spartan race. So usually for your first one, you're going to do about 3 miles, so that's about 5 kilometers, and you do about 20 obstacles, maybe more, about 20 to 25 range. It's never like exactly 5 kilometers or exactly 20 obstacles. So for your first race, it's about 3 miles, and you will do pretty much a lot of grip obstacles, a lot of going over a wall, rope climbing, and you'll also have to focus on weightlifting, like maybe an Atlas ball on your shoulder or walking it over to the flag and then back. And you're going to do burpees. So when you do burpees, usually you do these if you fail an obstacle, and at most races you do 30 burpees if you fail an obstacle. So you're going to be doing about 5 kilometers, well, 3 miles, so every, let's say, half mile or every quarter mile, you'll be doing an obstacle, and then you continue. But if you fail, you got to do 30 burpees to continue. Now, for these obstacles, you don't have a time cutoff or checkpoint you have to do at a certain point. So, like, example, all races would be done at 9 p.m. You have up until 9 p.m. to finish it, and usually you have these sprint races begin, depending on the venue, in the evening about like 4 or 5 o'clock at the very, very latest, and I think maybe earlier, I don't remember the exact time, probably like 1 or 2 at the earliest. And also when you do these events, if you feel like you have like soft hands or soft skin, you can wear gloves. So when you're doing the rope or the monkey bars and you feel maybe unconfident, like, oh, I'm gonna have a blister, you just put a pair of gloves on and you can take them off and continue running after the obstacle if you don't want to run around with the gloves. And also, if you feel like, oh, this is gonna take me a few hours, this is my first time, you're welcome to walk it, and you can also wear a camelback if you're like, okay, this is gonna take me a while, I'm gonna need food and water to stay hydrated, because usually for the sprints and stadions, you only have like maybe 3 water stations, so probably 1 per mile, and if you feel like you're gonna take a while, with this being your first one, and maybe you didn't train for it, you just kind of got off the couch and you wanted to try something new, and it's going to take a while, have the camelback, stay hydrated, and have probably some kind of carb with you, and beef jerky, some kind of protein. So there's no time cutoffs. Camelback you can wear. You're going to have gloves if you feel kind of iffy on blisters. Now, also, if you're doing this for the first time, sign up for the open race so you can get help from people, you can help people, you can, let's say if you need help going over a wall, you get help from someone like, hey, can I go on your shoulders, or I don't know what else. Just open races are more friendly, more community-like, and less competitive. Now, if you're doing an elite race or a age group race, those are very competitive, very strict, and you can't really get help from people, and you also only have maybe 1 shot on obstacles compared to doing an open race. If you, like, say you fail maybe monkey bars 1 time, you got more chances to do the monkey bars in an open race. And the only time you have to do the burpees is if you give up, like if you don't want to do the obstacle at all, like you give up on whatever attempts. So like an option is the spear throw. So when you throw a spear and you don't make it the first time, in an open race you have as many times as you want, and then in the elites you only get 1 shot. So if you don't get it in that 1 shot, you're doing burpees. And also with the competitive like age group and elite, they begin earlier than the open races. And let's see, what else can I answer? You want to wear maybe leggings, so when you're doing like certain obstacles that deal with rope, you don't get rope burn. And for the type of shoes you wear, try to make sure they have like a good grip, how would I say, like you don't want flat shoes or running shoes You want to make sure that they have a good grip on the bottom, so you can go like climb the walls, or like the muddiness is slippery. You want to have good grip so you can stick onto that mud. Obstacles I went over. Now let's say for your forearms, you can have like forearm sleeves. Like for example, I just did my ultra race and I got kind of banged up on my forearms. If I had sleeves, maybe I wouldn't be as banged up. So for more protection, you got forearm sleeves to help protect your forearms. And make sure you are hydrated. Depending on the area, you still want to drink a gallon a day. And don't worry about like, oh, I'm eating too many carbs and so on, or this isn't, part of my diet. You're going to be using a lot of calories, and you want to use carbs as fuel when you're doing this race. You don't want to be pretty low on carbs because you're doing 3 miles, and then you're also doing pretty much pulling yourself up on obstacles. You're moving heavy objects, so the carbs will be definitely needed. And usually for doing this event, if you're pretty much a novice at it, try to think of, I'm going to be doing this for about like an hour and a half or 2 hours. But if you have multiple people doing it with you, you're going to be doing it for like, let's say 2 or 3, because you want to stay with them, or you want to have their back and so on, and be there for support. Let's see, what else can I go over with? Pretty much, this is going to be your first one. It's going to be a mental game. So you might not be used to this kind of workout. You're not used to, I never did 3 miles before. I can't do that. You have a lot of support with a lot of people, hey, go on, cheering for you, and so on and so forth. And it's a really good community. And if you're like, oh, I can't do this, I can't run, you can do this. You're allowed to walk. You go at your own pace, and you take as much time as you need. Not everybody is going to run. You will see that for sure. People will be walking, and maybe you might get a friend or two from, just chit-chatting, like, you might make a new racing buddy for future events like I did with the Ultra. I made a new friend, and I attempt to see him again in Florida, maybe in December. So you will make friends. Don't make it so competitive that you won't have fun. You want to enjoy it. You want to make, connections in the community, and so on. This is your first one, so have fun with it. I'm going to say that's pretty much it that I can think of. And as exercise and cardio goes, try to get used to walking on an incline on a treadmill if you like walking inside. And that's pretty much pulling exercises. Focus on your back, biceps, your forearms for grip. Now when I say your grip, you're going to want that for the monkey bars and a lot of the obstacles. You don't think you need to grip a lot in real life, but you do use it more than you think, which will be needed in the obstacles that are dealt with in these races. If you have weak grip strength, I definitely say work on it, get better, and maybe buy one of those forearm grip things. So you'll see them at Walmart, Amazon, you can buy them online on Rogue Fitness. Those will help you. And try to just, maybe dead hangs. You're going to be hanging from a bar for your forearms. So pretty easy forearm techniques. You want to work on your endurance with your forearms, like hanging up for more than 30 seconds. And also having good grip strength to squeeze things so you can squeeze on the bar. And also a lot of the obstacles, you will have using momentum to go bar to bar, so you will have a lot of swinging, and that's where the friction on your hand blisters come into play. So it's up to you about wearing the gloves. If you feel like you don't need them, you don't necessarily have to, but not to make it crazy, it's a very low chance of not having a blister or two at the end of this race. So have some spray on you to spray all the germs out, like alcohol and so on. If you feel like, oh, I'm gonna get a blister in your camelback, you can have Band-Aids and so on, so you got something to close it and keep continuing the race and not get blood everywhere and so on. What you might think, oh, I can't do this, everything online looks scary, all these people look intense, is really not as scary as it seems. Like, you go at your own pace, as I just said, and if you want to walk it, walk it. Your goal is just to get to the finish line. Your goal is just to be better than you were yesterday and do better than, who you see yourself in the mirror. You're not going to be competing against some guy that you'll maybe never see again from a different state, and so on. So don't make it all about, competitiveness, because you want to do better than you were yesterday, and it's your first one. Let's see. Now for cramps. If you do get a cramp, you're gonna put pickle juice, you have mustard, and then you have salt tabs. You can get chewable salt tabs pretty much on Amazon, like I did, and the pickle juice on Amazon. The mustard, you can pretty much go to any McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, just get a mustard packet. This will help delay having a cramp. You wanna, pretty much put that sodium back in your body because you're gonna be sweating it out. And let's see, that fixes the cramps. If you feel low on fuel, just make sure you have good snacks in your Camelback. I'll go over another video that probably has the snacks. And in a previous video of mine, I could link it down below, of what you would put, in an ultra race, I put what snacks I would use as go-tos. I want to say that's pretty much it as doing your first race. So if you have any questions, comments, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll post this on Reddit, Facebook. That's pretty much it. So see you guys next time on YouTube, and Dylan signing out.